live, huh? We live. We live today. Listen, good people, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your relationship. That tension you feeling right now in your relationship, right? That's called a growth spurt. Yeah, and today in this episode live, we about to break this thing down, man. So if you've been feeling like y'all drifting apart, or you've been feeling isolated, or you've been feeling that tension, nah, that's a growth spurt, good people. Welcome back to the Married Life Podcast. This is a live episode, right? I'm one of your hosts, FL, the life coach. This is my boo thing. It's my boo thing. Listen, this is the Married Life, where we slow things down, where we recognize the patterns within ourselves and our relationship, right? Regulate our body together, right? Get a new revelation on what to do different. Build a rhythm around that new revelation so we can do what, babe? So we can fly together, good people. So listen, at any point during this live show, it's always a Q&A, right? So listen, drop your comments below. And then we want to hear from you. What's the email address?
marriedlife23@gmail.com.
All right. So listen, man, we about to just jump right into it, man. Like I said, listen, there's nothing wrong with you, good people. It's called a growth spurt. See, look, I wrote this down here. What's really happening? So now I'm getting ready to really talk about, we're getting ready to go into a little bit what's really happening, right? Because it's been a hell of a week for us. Well, you know, not nothing bad. Nothing bad. We've been going through a growth spurt, good people.
Yes.
And so sometimes when you going through that, that's why we wanted to make this video. We tried to record it yesterday.
Yes.
But my storage on my phone, long story. Yeah, so we just decided to go live. But listen, ain't nothing wrong. I wrote this down. It wasn't you, it wasn't me, it wasn't her, it wasn't me. We was just off. Oh, you tired, man? You tired?
Got the yawnies.
Listen, most couples assume that something is wrong or something is breaking when they're going through a growth spurt.
It's true.
Right? Like we just had, and that like we've been having this 27 years in. So now we got language to coin.
You should constantly be growing, so you're going to have growth spurts.
You're gonna have them, man. But in the beginning, we didn't have language to coin.
Right.
So you don't really know what it is. So listen, before we get into this first part, just because something feels off, it doesn't mean something is wrong. That's a growth spurt, good people. Yeah. So babe, let's just jump right into it, man. I just wanted to set it up with that. So last week, or the last couple of weeks, it's been a lot of growth spurts, right?
Yeah.
But one of the main ones, you can go back and watch the Soul Truth Sunday. I talked about that on the Soul Truth Sunday. But one of the main growth spurts that we've been going through is our finances.
Yes.
Right? Learning to grow from transactional income, where you do something and get paid for it.
Right.
Now we're growing into compound income with our media company and the different things we're doing. Now it's almost like the stock market, right? You have to do the work up front, stay consistent with it, and then it compounds.
Yes.
But that compound amount is huge, right? So just talk a little bit about how the adjustments that we've had to make financially just the last week, and then just even other things we had to grow in, especially with the kids. We get to that a little bit later. But just talk about the financial adjustment going from transactional income to now more of a compound income, and how that affects the nervous system and all that good stuff.
Right. So what I would say for me personally is going from our cleaning business. So we had our cleaning business. It was consistent income. We knew when we were getting a check, how much our check was going to be. You know,
very predictable.
We knew what was going to happen with our finances.
Real talk.
Now that, it's been years since we've had the cleaning business, we've gone to the other extreme where we have to, do some work, and we're not quite getting paid yet, but, it's coming. But that is a shift in your brain, your mind, to understand what's happening, and to understand, you're just going through a little bit of a wave here right now. It's kind of, it's like, woo, hey, what are we going to do?
Yes, sir.
So, just, learning to adapt to that is really, that's been the challenge.
Been a big challenge, right? Welcome. We see two people join. Welcome. Have a seat. Pull up. Conversate with us a little bit. But now, man, that's real talk. What she talking about, man, that growth spurt. Because like she said, just to piggyback on what she said, We're used to transactional income, right? You do the work and then you get paid, right? That's one of the businesses that we have right now. But the media business that we're building out, that y'all see us on here all the time, the Married Life, the Soul Truth, that's a different payout, good people. You don't get paid instantly with that. So now your nervous system is freaking out because you're like, because you used to doing the work and getting paid. Compound income ain't like that. It ain't like that at all. So that's been one of the big growth moments for us this last couple of weeks. Just retraining our nervous system to feel safe with compound income. Because that's always what we've always talked about. We've always talked about doing the work once, getting paid many times over for it, creating value up front, and then just putting that on repeat mode. But if you're used to transactional income, man, your nervous system is going to freak out until you retrain it. So I wrote this down, growth is happening on the individual level. Go check out that Soul Truth Sunday. I talk about on my individual side. Now she's giving her, but it shows up relationally. Growth happens on the individual level, but it shows up relationally, right? You can be growing individually and still feel disconnected relationally.
That's true. Wow.
Yeah. And you know why? Because now we're getting ready to tell you why. Because how it really shows up in your relationship when you're in a growth spurt, right? And this is real talk, good people. Mood shifts. I wrote this down. Overthinking, pulling back, isolating yourself, miscommunication, assuming something is wrong with your partner. When it's just a growth spurt. Just a growth spurt. See, so this past week or so, she can attest to this. When I'm going through a growth spurt, like I said, 27 years in, man, we've been married 27 years, good people. We got businesses, kids, all that. We didn't have language for it back then. But now, when I'm going through a growth spurt, I'm able to recognize that in my own self because you know what? I used to pull away, right? I used to isolate myself, right? And I still have to watch that even now. 27 years in, she'll tell you. Last week or the week before, you probably didn't know, you probably didn't think anything was wrong, but you probably could feel me kind of isolated a little bit, kind of pull away, but I had to communicate that with her. Babe, I'm going through something, I'm growing, I'm stretching, that growth spurt. Go ahead. You seem like you're about to say something.
He's a talker.
What?
He likes to talk.
What?
I'm an introvert, so I'm already a quiet person. But when he gets quiet, I'm like, what? Like, do something?
Nah,
or
real
he's
talk.
mad at me? Because he talks.
Real talk.
I'm used to him talking a lot. And so when he gets quiet, then I'm like, what happened?
Nah, real talk, man. And when you're going through a growth spurt, what kind of comes out with you? Some of those mood shifts.
I'd probably become moody because I'm just, in my, excuse me. I have so much going on in my brain, and I'm just like, just little things probably start irritating me because I'm already like overwhelmed in my mind, then dealing with just life in general, kids and what you got to do for yourself, and so just in my brain, I just probably get a little snappy.
Yeah, no, real talk. And doing that growth spurt, those arguments you having, man, those arguments, you be thinking to yourself like, what are we arguing about?
Right.
Because you don't even know what it is. This why we trying to give y'all the sauce. We're able to coin it now 27 years in. But if you ain't 27 years in your relationship, if you can't find language for it, I see somebody commenting how your body reacts when you are growing. Yes. So are you asking us how your body reacts? Yes. So your body is always going to react to what's familiar when you're growing. Right? So if you haven't retrained it to the new level, it's always going to pull you back to what's familiar.
Right.
So that's where the nervous system work comes in at. That's where you got to recognize those patterns and all that good stuff. Yes. That's where all that comes in at. Yes. Appreciate you tuning in and watching, man. Appreciate you dropping the question. So so I wrote this down. Unprocessed growth shows up as tension in your relationship. Yeah, yeah, unprocessed growth. You know, man. I remember last time you asked me what that really meant. Like, how
Right,
does
yeah,
that?
how do you,
So
explain that?
a little bit. I'm gonna unpack that. Unprocessed growth shows up as tension in your relationship. Why? Because if you don't process that growth with your partner, that's unprocessed growth. So that's always going to show up like this. But okay, listen. Let me give you this another analogy, because translation is my gift, good people. This is my thing. So listen, when y'all first get married, if you like green beans and your partner is cooking green beans for you all the time because you love it, when y'all first get married, now 3-5 years in, your taste bud changes. But if you don't process that with your partner, let your partner know, hey, I don't like green beans no more, she's gonna still be cooking it. And then you're gonna be complaining about it. Why you still cooking me green beans? I don't like green beans, da da da. But did you process that with your partner? So that's what I mean. Unprocessed growth shows up as tension, because it's not your partner's job to read your mind. It's your job to communicate that with your partner when you're going through a growth spurt.
Yes.
So they can do what they need to do to support you.
Right.
And
that's really what it's about. Like you're also leaning into your partner for that support.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you have each other for, is in those times where, sometimes you have to kind of deal with things on your own, but you also have someone to help you and, just reinforce the positive side of everything. Because for me, I'm a pessimist by nature. I acknowledge it.
Really?
I do not like it.
Yeah.
But that is something, it's a pattern in me that I'm working on personally right now. So instead of seeing everything in a negative light, I want to see the positive, and he is so
I'm
good
an
at
optimist.
that. He is so good at that. And so he really helps me bring that down, my pessimist side down, where I can see the positive.
Yeah. And you know what? And we balance each other out. You know what I'm saying? Because when I get too high with all my optimism, she's like, pump your brakes. We need to do 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a balance, good people. It's just a balance. So this next part, we want to talk about the misinterpretation, right? So all of that leads to a misinterpretation in a relationship if you don't really know what that is, if you can't coin it. So the misinterpretation is one person thinking the other person. I wrote down, one person thinks, what did I do wrong, right? Because when you're going through a growth spurt, take me. When I go through a growth spurt, wifey probably feels like, did I do something? Because I get quiet, right? I isolate myself, right? And then the other person is thinking, I wrote down, I don't even know what I did wrong, you know? So talk about that, about the misinterpretation that we used to have, and we still have to be aware of that now, 27 years in.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Just like we were talking about, when he gets quiet, I'm automatically assuming it's me, he's frustrated at me about something, and that's not true. He's just going through his own thing. So again, it goes back to the communication, letting each other know what's going on. And he's really good about that because he is the talker. I'm the introvert. I hold things in. So he probably has to pull that out of me a little bit more than, what normal people would do. We're the opposite in our relationship. It's usually the girl that likes to talk.
And I'm the talker. I'm like, just talk to me. Just talk to me. How come you won't talk to me?
Talking right now, so.
And that's her. She's like, I don't want to talk right now. But now, good people, hey man, what she's saying is true. That's what a relationship really does. It's a balancing act. It's a juggling act, right? So sometimes the misinterpretation is what creates the distance.
Right.
That's what I wrote down. So listen, I wrote down, most couples don't break down or break up because of problems. They break down or break up from misinterpreting the growth spurt. I'm gonna let that settle. You want me to say that again, baby? You want me to say that again? You want me to say that again for the people in the back? Listen, most couples don't break down or break up because of problems. That's everyday life. That's life, right? They break down or break up because they misinterpret the growth spurt. Like I said, because if you misinterpret the growth spurt, that causes distance between you.
Oh, yeah.
because you're misinterpreting
Yeah,
from
'cause
your
if
partner.
if he goes quiet, I'm like, fine, I don't talk to him neither. Shh, whatever.
See. And when wifey get moody and her gross person in the beginning, oh, she moody. Well, forget her. I ain't said nothing to her. Then she moody. Let her. See that? You keep that up long enough, what happens? Creates the distance.
Yes.
And it's not because the love ain't there. It's not
Right.
because you guys don't care for each other. It's a growth spurt. And you don't have language for it, right? So listen, now we getting ready to give you what we did to fix it, man. And we getting ready to let you go, man. We getting ready to let you go. Listen, so this is what, not necessarily what we did to fix it, because you're not broken.
Right.
What we had to,
Just what we work on.
yeah, exactly. What we worked on. So I wrote down here, the internal state. I had to explain my internal state. She had to start explaining her internal state. We had to start having regulated conversations about that internal state. So in other words, we had to stop reacting, stop blaming, stop shutting down. I had to stop isolating. I had to really communicate that to her, my internal state. Babe, I'm growing. Something feels off, but I don't really know what it is.
Can't explain it, yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we had to navigate through it, And like she said, it's probably easier for me when you say to do that.
Yeah,
but we both had to do it, so just talk about for you how that is, just a little bit, how talking about it or expressing that in the moment, does that help you more?
Oh, definitely. Because I am an introvert, I find myself, not purposefully, that's just who I am. I hold things in, but when I actually open up and talk about it, I feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
Like it's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. So for me, it's like, remembering in the moment, hey, this is my safe space right here. And I should be able to.
I'm her safe space, baby.
I should be able to communicate with him, and he responds in a way that helps me,
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, that's, just opening up to him.